Today's video, we're going to be looking at 3 aquarium hacks that you need to know. So the first aquarium hack is water changes, like I'm doing right now. Now, water changes are usually done as weekly maintenance or in 2-week cycles, or however often you do water changes. You usually do water changes if you're keeping an aquarium. Now, there are some exceptions for things like ponds, or if you're keeping shrimp tanks, shrimps, they do better without water changes in most circumstances. And even planted tanks with super thick gravel beds like this one here, sometimes they don't even need big water changes because they're heavily planted with plants and the plants actually take care of that. Now, for the most of us who are keeping a general aquarium like this here, we need to do water changes. Why do water changes? Well, one, when you do a water change on your aquarium, it's taking out all of the waste that's in the aquarium, which is generally formed by fish poo or any organic decay, such as dead fish or plants. So what you're doing is you're removing all of that, which in actual fact causes ammonia and nitrites, which is harmful for your fish. You're removing it and replacing it with fresh, clean water, which enhances your success, whether it's breeding or just keeping an aquarium in general. It enables you to have a beautiful, healthy, crystal clear aquarium. Also, when you do water changes, for some species, it actually imitates something called the monsoon season, which is the rainy season. And for some species of fish, that is the only time of year that they breed. So if you want to breed these types of fish, the only way you're going to get them to breed is by doing a water change. Sounds silly, I know, but when I do a water change, it actually gets me motivated for doing weekly maintenance. But it gets me just really into my aquarium and it gets me interested. So, I'm doing a water change, I'm checking for things, I'm checking that I don't unsubmerge my heater like I'm doing right now. That's a bad idea. Okay, number 2 on this list of underrated aquarium hacks, heaters. Yep, I was just talking about heaters just then, and heaters can be a real problem, especially when you're going to buy a heater and you don't know which heater to choose. So what I'm saying is when you go and buy a heater, you're better off investing a little bit more in a higher end, expensive heater than you are in a cheaper heater. The reason being, I've bought many heaters in the past, cheap and expensive heaters, and I'm happy to say, or rather not happy to say, that the cheap heaters, they die really quickly and they're completely unreliable. Now, if you buy a more expensive, like the Eheim heaters, which is what I'm literally running my whole setup on now, they're very reliable. They are a bit more expensive, about $30, $40 difference, but the thing is, they last for ages and they're really reliable. Just don't leave them unsubmerged and they won't explode on you. Now, the third underrated aquarium hack is a hack of saving your money. So the third thing on this list is filtration. Now, I have many different types of filtration in my room. I have power filters, I have canister filters, I have hang on the back filters, and I am going to say that they work for different things in different circumstances. So deciding on what exact filter you're going to get is up to you, and you need to make that decision. But I'm going to help you with that decision a little bit, just so that you don't have to spend too much money on something you don't need to. So you might want to get a canister filter, for instance, and you might want to get an FX6 canister filter, which will blow your money about $600. Or you could get a very similar result for a much cheaper price. This one here, which is 120 bucks, and it does the exact same liters per hour, and it does the same thing. It filters your water. Or you could be even more economical and save even more money, buy an air pump, airline tubing, and a sponge filter, and that will do exactly the same thing. It will give you biological filtration. It also has many benefits, like you can breed fish in that tank without the fact that they could get sucked up through and into your filter, the baby fish I'm talking about. It's actually a really good filter because it actually houses a ton of beneficial bacteria. It also houses food for very tiny fish, little tiny microorganisms are actually a food source for very small fry. So there you go, that is the top 3 underrated aquarium hacks that you needed to know.